Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have something a little bit different today that I'm going to try. I found this at Hobby Lobby. No, at Michael's. I'm sorry. Found it at Michael's in one of their bins that they have on sale. I think I paid maybe $3 for it. But it's a wooden cutout and it's on a piece of acrylic with a frame, a wooden frame. So I want to fill this in with glass. And then I want to cover it with resin. But I'm going to have to seal this frame because it's very, it's not put in there very well. So I'm going to have to seal it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Elmer's clear glue and I'm going to run it. Because when you put Elmer's clear glue on something and you put resin over it, it does disappear. So this little bead of clear glue to seal the, and there is a film on the back of this that will be removed later. So it will be clear like glass, but it's acrylic. Now I have poured resin over acrylic before, so I know that it can be done. So I'm going to do that and see what I get from it. And we'll see what we get. And I got a couple of molds from JDiction today. Can't wait to pour this. It's got some shiny stuff, some matte stuff. But I'm excited to pour that. And then I got her little druzy ribbon. And I really like that little druzy ribbon. So I'm going to try to pour one of those pink ribbons and do that. So let me mix up a little bit of resin. It's not going to take much to do that. And we'll come back in a minute and we'll pour these two. And we're going to leave this to dry for 24 hours on the glue. Okay? Be back in a few minutes. Okay. All right, we're back. So I thought I hit play, record. I'm doing this alcohol ink pink. We're going to see what we get when we add that in there. It doesn't look pink to me. It looks more red than it does pink, but it looks more red than it does pink. But we're going to see. I don't know. It might be pink. Alright. I'm going to pour this in here. And I had this thing here that I was working on, so I'm going to finish the back off of that. And I have this other little mold over here. I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm gonna pour this dolphin pink. Squeeze it. Make sure there's no bubbles in there. Okay. Of course, I always make up too much, don't I? Alright, let's move that out of the way. And we're going to save that for a minute. Let me move this over here. Let me close up this alcohol ink before I drop it. Alright. We got a little mold here, and I think that I'll pour this in here with her. All right. Now for this starfish, I think I want to add some crushed crystal. Just a little bit. Little goes a long way of that stuff. Okay, now I want to I'm going to add some of this marabou alcohol ink in here, and this is violet, blue, green. Just a little bit to give it a little bit of shimmer. And then we're going to pour it in here. And before I top that off to dome it, I want to take a silicone tool and make sure there's no bubbles laying in wait. In these little holes in there. All right. Hopefully there's no bubbles in there. How's everybody doing? I hope that everyone had a great Easter. I did. I had a good Easter Sunday. I do prison ministry, and our day to go to the prison fell on Easter Sunday. I was so tickled that we were able to get out there on a Easter Sunday. And boy, you know the Lord shows up. It was really good. Really, really good. So I did have a good Easter Sunday. Just seems like the weekends don't last very long. They're not long enough. They don't last very long. Alright, I got leftover resin. What am I going to pour now? Let me see. Let's pour the base of this little guy. Because I wanted to put some flowers in this. And in order to do that, I like to pour a base coat. So a little thin coating. Okay. And we'll spritz a little alcohol. Alright, we got a little bit of resin left. So let's pour some in this. Pour a base coat in this one. Because I wanted to put some dried flowers in this one too. And in order to do that, I like to put a base coat down. So you have something to put the flowers on. Because too many times I've tried to put flowers in there without a base coat and ended up with holes in the resin that I had to fix. So no more doing that. All right, so we're going to come back when this is ready to these are ready to do. This will be ready to demold, and hopefully this will be dry by then. All right, see you then. Okay, welcome back everybody. All right, so the glue is dried on this, and I have put tape, painter's tape on the back to prevent leaks just in case. And I put these little levels on here to make sure that it's on a level field, and it is. So we're good to go with the level of it. Now, first off, I want to finish up, because we're going to be putting a little bit of glass on this. So I want to finish this side real quick. We're going to demold a couple of things, and then I've got some different steps on those others. So let's demold this guy first. Oh, how pretty is that? Very, very pretty. I'm liking him a lot. I like this mold. I got it from JDiction. I will link it in the description. I love her molds. I have quite a few from her. Alright, so that's Julie, and this is an IntoResin mold that I have for the little turtle. And I put a little crab in there and a starfish and a couple little fishies. Cute, cute, cute. And then this is a Temu mold for the little dolphin. And he's so cute. I think that's the cutest little dolphin. He sits up like that. Very cute. And it is a matte mold. Alright, and then this is my new little commemorative ribbon. You can make them for anything from breast cancer to whatnot. But it's a druzy. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous. That come from JDiction as well. Now, these I want to put some flowers in there. And I have some little flowers. I don't know if any of these have, let me look at these flowers real quick. I think some of these littler ones on there. Some of those maybe. Let me see what I have over here. I do have some blue flowers, I thought. And then I have some blue flowers, and maybe I used them all. It's a possibility. Might have used them. Okay, so we will see real quick. Let's see. Oh. Alright, I guess we'll have to use some of these out of this. Let's use these little orange flowers out here, because I don't know what I've done with that other, so we'll just use these. Alright, so anyway, we're going to grab some of these out of here. We'll take this bigger one here. And you do have to put them upside down. Because when you demold it, it's going to be headed the other direction. Some of these are a little hard to, I think I want these two little orange ones in the carrot. With a little piece of this here on the back side. There we go. And then some of these are just adorable. Oh, that ought to fit in there. And then we could take a few of these. And just sporadically put them in there. Doesn't have to be any which way. Okay, I think that'll be enough. I don't want to make this video too long on y'all, but you get the gist of it, to put some flowers in there. Okay. Alright, so we got some flowers in there and some flowers in that one. And this one, I have found some dichroic fantasy film that I'm going to be taking pieces of and putting it into here. And I'm hoping that the effects of it will come out. Sometimes it's a little easier said than done, putting this stuff in here, getting it to go down into the mold. I think I'm going to have to cut off that little tail. And just cut up little pieces and put it in there. Doesn't have to be exact. This paper just, it's so thin, it's very hard to keep it to go in there. Every little bit counts. Okay, so what I do on here, I don't know that everybody does it, but I do it. I put a little bit of UV resin, just sort of like tack welding it. so that it doesn't float when you put the resin in there. And it doesn't have to be covered in it. Just have to put it in little spots to tack it down. And that way it won't move. Well, okay. Think that'll do it. Nope. That piece didn't get tagged. Come on, you little bird. I'm sorry, y'all. It's taken me a few minutes to get that in there. I'm sorry. You can fast forward through it if you need to. I totally understand. All right, I want one more piece on that arm. I think I got it in there. A little dab will do you there. Alright, I think we've got enough in there. Alright, so when we mix up resin and we pour the resin in there, it won't come out. Alright, so now what I'd like to do is I'm going to mix up just a little bit of resin after that when I'm mixing this up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some resin, start adding resin to our flowers. And I'm going to be putting glass. I've got green, And I've got that from Hobby Lobby, from Michael's. And then this is some that I did with, this come from Michael's. I think all these came from Michael's. No, this one, I colored that myself with orange. And it was Michael's cleared mirror. And I put orange on it. And then this is some, I want to say it's almost a purpley color. Anyway, we're going to be using those. So, to get going, I want to put the green in these leaves. I'm going to show you just a little bit here, and I'm not going to bore you with the details, and I'll come back after I've got it all filled. But we're going to put some green in the leaves here, just like this for the glass. And I'm going to do that with all the leaves that are on there. Put the glass in there. And I'll use my little scribe here to get things moved around a little bit where I want them. I'm trying to decide if I want to do anything with the flowers themselves, or do I want to leave it raw wood? I'm thinking that if I painted them white, that it might show the glass a little better. Let me give that a little bit of thought, and I'll come back. Okay, change of plan. I've decided that I'm going to use Light Wish glitter. No, this is JDiction Glitter UV Resin. JDiction. That's what I've decided I'm going to use on that, because I was trying to get that glass in there, and some pieces are too big to fit, and I'm not messing with that. So I say, let's do it this way, because I think it's going to be very pretty to do it with the UV resin. So let's try it with that. I'll do a little bit and then show you what I'm going to do, and then I won't bore you. I'll come back when it's done. So I'm going to put a little bit of yellow. I want yellow on the centers. Okay. And we'll get this cured. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Get this cured up. And after I do this here, I will be curing it from the back as well before I pour resin over the entire thing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use this blue. Oh, this blue is beautiful. You just put this blue in here. And I will use a little bitty torch, get any bubbles out of it. And let's use the scribe to get it in the little nooks and crannies. This blue is very, I don't know if you can see it like I see it, how pretty it is. I'll bring it up to you. How pretty that blue is. It's a blue glitter UV resin from JDiction. I will put the link for it in my description. But I'm going to do that one, and then I'm going to the other little, I'm going to do the two blue, these two flowers blue, and then I'm going to do this one. I want to, hold on, I got to get that. And you do have to, your color on these sinks a little bit, I believe. Yeah, that makes a difference. But this big flower, I'm going to make it purple. And then I'm going to do the leaves in green. I'm just showing you the colors really quick because it's going to take me a little minute to do all these. But I want to show you the colors I'm using. This is the green. And then I'm putting them in this side, inside this cutout. And don't forget to get your bubbles out of there. Make sure you got all the little nooks and crannies filled in. And then you cure it. So I'm going to get that done. I'm going to get all that done and then I'll be back. Okay, I have now finished all of the, I like it, all the UV resin. I've cured it all up. It's all cured, ready to go. So now I'm going to, I'm using Art and Glow casting and coating epoxy resin. It's a 1-to-1 resin. I like it because it doesn't leave fish eyes. But I think I see something I need to do real quick. Something I missed. And I'm sure y'all are all hollering at me going, "You missed that, you missed that." Or maybe y'all didn't see it either. I missed doing the center of this one. So let me cure that real quick. And we'll get that done. And I meant to say I could unmold that dog that I had because I'm not doing any more with the dog on that 2-part thing over here. I'm just going to finish her with that fantasy film. But the dog is finished. He's done. Cute, cute, cute. Love that mold. Definitely love the mold. And I'm really loving that turtle. And if you put a light underneath that, let me see if I can get the light. Put a light underneath that, it shows that. Doesn't show it as good on there for y'all, but if you set it on a light base to where it has a lot of coverage, you'll be able to see all those things in there. So cute. Loving it. Alright, let's see if this is cured. It is cured. Alright. So now we're going to drizzle this over the whole picture. I might just pour it on there. Be a lot easier. I really like that blue color of that glitter UV resin. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take my gloved hand and make sure that all of it gets into every little nook and cranny. This coating resin is pretty good. I use it, or I use Naked Fusion, the original formula. I like either one of them. They, you can work with them and they don't leave fish eyes on canvas. Because some of those resins will leave fish eyes. So you have to be very careful. Okay. Wipe my hand, my glove off. And we'll finish. Finish it off. Alright, now I will get my torch. So that I can get rid of the surface bubbles. My hands get so messy. So I will come back and babysit this about every 15 minutes or so, just to make sure I don't have any mist trash coming in and trying to settle down. I see a couple of bubbles popping up. Alright, and then on these guys over here, I'm just going to mix up some resin, and I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm just going to put it in there, and then we'll demold them when we move this to remove the tape on the back. So I'll come back when that happens. See you then. Hello everybody, welcome back. All right, it's demold time, or in this case, it's untape time. We're just going to remove the tape off the back of this piece. Well, I don't see any leaks. That's a good thing. Very good thing. And that's the back of it. So this is the front. What do you think? I think it turned out really pretty. I ended up putting a little bit of glass on that bud, only because I forgot to put the UV resin on there. So I ended up having to put some purple glass on there, but I added some bees to it and a little cross at the bottom. I give God all the glory. But I think it turned out really pretty. I put a little diamond dust on it. That's this diamond dust is this right here. It's made by Floracraft, and it's very, very sparkly. Little pieces. That's what I put on there with some diamond dust. You can see it. But I think it turned out really pretty. What do y'all think? Okay. So, moving on here. Let's take this guy out. And I know Easter's over with, but you know what? Rabbits aren't just for Easter. They can be any time of the year because rabbits are cute. He has a little butterfly on his nose. He's leaned up against an egg because he's a sitter. He stands up alone. But I think that turned out really cute. What do you think? I think it did. Okay, in the mold. It's a pretty good mold for Temu. And then this was a little butterfly keychain that I used the extra resin with. And I'll add the keychain on there. And of course I poured a turtle. And I had a little flower in him. So we shall see. You can see the little flower in there. He's also a keychain. And then this is another shelf sitter. Got a bubble. I have to fix that with some UV resin. I babysitted him very late last night. Later than I normally stay up because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. But I was babysitting that big thing because it, I think they came from underneath the wooden cutout, the bubbles on that one. They weren't really big bubbles, but they were a nuisance. All the same. And then this, oh yeah, I'm going to put some UV resin on here to give it a clarity. And we're going to be using a marker. We're going to use this deco color, or maybe, yeah, I think we'll use that for this heart. It has a heart on there. Alright, got the heart on there. And I think there's a couple of fingernails right there, and I think that we're just going to silver them up. Sorry, didn't mean to be off camera. And I'm using the Let's Resin Chrome markers. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we'll put some UV resin on there to sparkle it up. So let's get the girl out. This little mold is so cute. Ooh, got a lot of overpour on her. I think it was because of all that dichroic paper that I was trying to put into her. It caused me to do quite a bit of overpour on her. Well, I say quite a bit. It's just I'm going to hold this over the trash can so we don't get it everywhere. And I'll show you how this mold works with the dog. Okay. Oop, left some on the arm. Okay. So how this works with with the dog is they fit together. Like she's leaning her head on his forehead, like you do a dog and nuzzle a dog. And they're shelf sitters. And I did get that mold from Temu. I thought it was very, very cute. Very, very cute. Alright, everyone. So that's my video this time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this. And it gave you an idea of what you can do with those cutouts that you find. Like I said, I got this from Michael's in a discontinued or one of their little bins. I think I paid like $2.99, something like that for it. And it was originally like 15 bucks. But, so you can get those pretty much at Michael's. You can get them at Hobby Lobby where you can find the cutouts on the acrylic. And I wanted to show you that you can pour resin over acrylic. It does not melt it at all. And it came out very pretty. Anyway, I hope that you liked it. And I really appreciate you tuning in to watch. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe you would think about it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And it sure helps me grow my channel. And you never know what I'm going to do. I come up with some crazy things sometimes. But I do have some new molds that I'm going to be doing. So stay tuned. But I do appreciate you, each and every one of you. The ones that's been with me, OGs, and the new ones. I really appreciate everybody. And just remember, the world is full of blessings. And if you haven't found one, be one. See you later, guys. Bye.